Welcome, one and all, nerds and lady nerds, to another edition of the NerdWatch Nation, episode 6. Unbelievable, we've been doing this for 6 weeks. We're running a little, well, I don't want to say we're running late. We've been doing it the last couple weeks on a Wednesday, but this week we're doing it on a Thursday. Whatever, just know that we're on nerd time, and it gets posted eventually, and this is your new episode. I, of course, am G Money. I am joined by the newest member of the NerdWatch Nation, Collector J. Collector J, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you doing this
I'm
morning?
doing wonderful. We are here at NerdWatch HQ. Thank you for providing NerdWatch HQ there,
you're
Collector
welcome.
J. I certainly
Anytime.
appreciate it. Now we know why you're called Collector J. I'm glad I came up with that. It's Collection City here at the headquarters. We are without Professor Barry today. He is indisposed, but that's okay. We're pushing forward with the show this morning, and we're going to talk about a lot of things that have come up in the news in nerd culture this week. First off, I want to talk about a couple of things. One, I want to talk about this weekend was Summerslam. I got to watch wrestling. I was so excited. I have the WWE Network. Watch Summerslam. Watch Brock Lesnar destroy John Cena. That was a lot of fun. So I don't know if you're a wrestling guy.
No, I'm not into wrestling.
I've always been a wrestling guy since I was young. It was the match that changed my mind about wrestling was a lot of people's match was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat against Randy Macho Man Savage at WrestleMania 3. Changed the way I looked at wrestling forever, because that was an amazing match. I think it even overshadowed the main event at WrestleMania 3, which was Hulk Hogan against Andre the Giant, which was supposed to be this huge event.
Oh, that's back in the day.
That's back in the day, baby. That changed my life. I was watching wrestling way before that, but that was the wrestling match that changed my life. So I love wrestling. I love the art form. I love how they have to work together. It's a ballet, and it's a lot of fun for me. I like that stuff. Anyway, yeah, SummerSlam was this weekend. Had a good time watching that, and I watched it with some dedicated fans like me.
Any fights break out?
Yeah, no. We're completely
calm
we geek
wrestling?
out, dude. We do it. You know, we do the entrances. You know, we do the catchphrases. We're total nerds when it comes to wrestling stuff. Anyway, listen.
Everyone has their thing.
Exactly, and I love everybody's got their thing, and I try and have my hand in every single one of them. Anyway, this weekend also was the opening of a couple of new flicks, but the one that was the most important was the one that had the leaked screener, and that was Expendables 3.
What'd you think?
Well, I did watch it, and so did you, Collector J. Did you not?
I did watch it, yes.
Well, let me give you my thoughts. Here are my thoughts. I thought Expendables 3 was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was enjoyable. I thought it was better than the second one. I didn't enjoy the second one very much.
Yeah, I would say it was better.
Yeah. I thought I didn't enjoy the second one very much at all. This one was a lot of fun for me. They threw you for a loop in the third one. They throw you for a loop in the third one where we see I guess you could say the breaking apart of the original team for a new team. I'm not giving anything away because that happens fairly early in the film.
Yep.
So, but I will say this: the end of that film is amazing. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was super ridiculous. It was over the top. It was really funny. I thought that some of the fight scenes were a little, the way the director shoots it, a little too close. I like to see it a little more. But I thought overall, I thought Sylvester Stallone was good. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Harrison Ford in the helicopter.
Oh, yeah. He was having fun.
He was having a real good time. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good movie. What about you?
I agree with you. I think, for me, when they broke apart, it was. It's always hard for me to swallow when they get those stories about it's not good for you, but it's okay for me.
Right.
I always just, you couldn't come up with a better reason than that. And then one of the things that kind of was a little was Ronda Rousey. Rousey.
Rousey.
Sorry, Ronda.
That's Rowdy. Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Yeah, no, she will. She will too. She was at SummerSlam, by the way. Yeah, she's a huge wrestling fan. Just to let you know.
Well, she is, and isn't she an MMA fighter?
She is.
She's an MMA fighter. I think the acting could have been a little bit better on her part.
Oh, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Other than that, it's the same old action flick. A whole bunch of people we grew up with.
Yeah.
Getting down and dirty.
And no one, and I've said this before. You weren't on the show for this, Collector J, but I said that the action stars now do not compare to what we grew up with. No, at all.
Nope.
I mean, those Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, those guys they're in movies that I like to call machismo masterpieces.
Yep.
Full of testosterone, not afraid to be men.
Well, and those movies were made back before special effects were so prevalent.
Right, and everything was all politically correct and right, yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, the action flicks today and the actors just don't compare.
Right, and guys don't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone anymore, which is
because it's all illegal now.
Right, exactly. It's right. Everybody frowns upon it, right? So overall, I have to say that I think it's an extremely watchable film. I would give it 3 stars out of 5. Not perfect, but still a lot of fun. What say you?
I'll go with 3. I'll go with 3 out of 5.
All right, cool. That's what I would say too. Expendables 3.
Definitely watch it.
It is worth the price of admission.
A little younger crowd is okay as well because of the PG-13.
I'm glad you brought that up because it is no longer an R-rated movie. They're going for a wider audience, and I think overall, minus the blood and the swearing, I think it's still the same movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Did you also hear though that they already started blaming the leak for not doing good in the box office?
Like you said, like you told us off the air last week that they're blaming the leak for the box office. Your conspiracy. Why don't you, since we're talking about it now, why don't you give everybody your little conspiracy theory on the Expendables 3 leak?
Well, I mean, a DVD quality leak like that has to come from
inside
the studio somewhere, right?
Yeah, right.
So for me, I thought, number 3, they might not do so well. They knew that. They thought that. So what better way than to release it early,
right,
and blame it on it when it doesn't do well? You don't have a scapegoat.
Right.
Whether that's true or not, who knows? But it didn't do too well, so we'll have to stand by on the Expendables.
I hope not too long.
But yeah, it was very interesting.
Oh, cool.
I would definitely see it again.
Well, I tell you what, Expendables 3, check it out, ladies and gentlemen. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Collector J did. And it's definitely something you should put on your must-watch list. I thoroughly thought I had a lot of fun with it. I don't know why you couldn't either, especially if you like the other two. Anyway, before we move on to more nerd news, we, of course, are located, like I said, NerdWatch headquarters is located in the middle of the Pacific. It's a rainy day today. Kind of a bit of a rainy day today, and I wanted you to know something. This has nothing to do with nerdness, but I thought I'd bring it up anyway. According to USA Today, so that those that listen to the podcast have a good idea. Did you know that the most honest city in America? Did you hear about this?
I did. I saw that.
According to reports, okay. Honolulu is the most honest city in the country.
I guess it'd have to depend on the questions that's asked.
That's what I was thinking. According to them, they say that some 95% of people spread across 60 locations in 50 states, faced with the choice to be honest or not, paid their dollar at an honor system street rack for honesty this year. That's up from 92% last year in the same honest tea. And when I say honest tea, it's honest TEA, like tea.
Okay.
Experiment in the U.S. dubbed the National Honesty Index. According to Honest Tea, they released a survey. They released a survey and they gave it to USA Today. And according to them, they say that at the top in Honolulu, 100% honesty for the second year in a row. So I'm wondering if if that honesty has to do with the fact that we're so close knit as a community here in the islands.
I could see that.
Yeah, I can see that too.
I can see that. You know, for me, statistics you can skew any way
you
can
want. Skew statistics
if
exactly.
If you drop $1 in one neighborhood versus another, it's going to have a different result.
Right.
So I would like to know what was behind the test.
Yes, I know. Apparently, what they're doing is they're leaving out. There's this something called the Honest Tea is a brand of tea, and they're leaving it out and seeing if people pay for it. I guess at this.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That actually brings up. Did you see there was a video that was going around a couple weeks ago where a gentleman was in a restaurant asking people for food because he was hungry.
Right.
And no one gave him food. But then one of his friends gave a couple homeless guys food. And when the other friend that was in the restaurants came up to ask for it, the homeless people shared their food.
Oh, so interesting.
I think it goes with, being honest and whatnot. It really has so many different variables on why someone's honest.
Sure. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that
maybe the tea wasn't very good.
It could be too. But I think what a lot of it is for me is that we're such a close-knit community that what we like to call out here in the islands coconut wireless. If somebody hears that, you didn't pay for something, auntie or uncle's going to hear about it here.
Well, and not only that is if you didn't pay for it, you might be taking money out of a family member's pocket.
That's right.
A friend's pocket.
That's right.
I mean, everyone knows everyone on this island.
They all do. Point. On every island, everybody's got relatives here, and everybody's an auntie or an uncle.
They say 7 degrees of separation. When you're in Hawaii, it's more like 2.
2, absolutely. 2. And I bring this up because, and the only reason why I bring it up on the NerdWatch Nation is because I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that out here in the islands, nerds and lady nerds, that you can trust.
I think we should go in geekettes.
You like geekettes?
Lady Nerds is coming off. You don't like lady?
All right, geekettes. It sounds like they belong in Radio City Music Hall doing high kicks on the stage.
Yeah. I think if you say Lady Nerds wrong once or twice, you might.
Okay.
Come up with a different
I
result.
see what you're saying. Well, the only reason why I brought up that honesty report from USA Today was to let everybody know that if you're listening to the NerdWatch Nations, our opinions can be trusted. That's the reason why I bring it up on the NerdWatch Nation, is because you can trust our opinions on this NerdWatch culture stuff. And on top of that, we're in the middle of the Pacific, and you won't get a point of view like ours anywhere else. So,
I hate to be a devil's advocate.
Oh, you're okay. Please, by all means, Collector J.
Once you got to start telling people you're honest, you're kind of like a politician.
Listen. That's going to be my other podcast about politics, and me being a politician. So don't worry, that's coming up. That'll be Politics Watch or something. We'll bring something up. We'll let you guys know. But moving on to more nerd news this morning. Big news coming out of the DC camp. It looks like the long teased and long rumored DC Comics movie role that has been, I guess, hotly watched because there has been a name connected to it recently.
Who's
Dwayne Johnson,
who's
The Rock,
from here,
who is of course from the islands. Here. Who he grew up all over the place because his dad was a wrestler, and his mom was running promotions. He's also a wrestler. See, it's all connected.
It's all connected.
It's all connected, baby. But anyway, I used to watch. The Rock used to perform, or not? His dad used to perform here, and my dad used to take me to the Neil Blaisdell Center, and we used to watch wrestling. And I used to see a little Rock.
There was a short time when I was watching a few wrestling shows here and there, and The Rock was my favorite.
See, there you go. See, there you go, baby.
A little later in life.
Sure.
For me, but,
everybody had the attitude errors. That's where everybody was, exactly. Well, anyway, Dwayne The Rock Johnson says that, according to the Associated Press, that he will play either A, Shazam, or Captain Marvel, or B, he'll play Black Adam from the DC Comics. So if you're anywhere familiar with Captain Marvel and or Black Adam, Dwayne Johnson would be a perfect fit for Black Adam, in my opinion. So
he's never really played a bad guy.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. He's always a good guy.
I mean, even what was the one role he was you could say semi bad, but Fast and the Furious when he was in there. Started out as the kind of bad guy,
But he was a good cop that was put on. He was a good bad cop,
which was
right.
But that's the closest,
right? Because we're supposed to side with the bad guys in that show, which they're technically not. They're
really the good guys.
They're really the good guys, right? Exactly. So The Rock becoming a comic book character. I will say this: his physique and the way he looks, he is a comic book character.